She said, what?
How could they do something like that?
Are you serious?
What a thirsty MFer.
Not good. She's absolutely dead to me.
That's because she died.
I'm Sterling Mulberry.
And I'm Blair Payton. And welcome to
Bad Behavior, a morally questionable podcast.
We're two unqualified friends,
Two unhinged comedians,
determined once and for all what is good
and what is bad.
Hello, and welcome to Bad Behavior. I'm Blair Payton.
And I'm Sterling Mulberry.
Well, Sterling, I'm just going to say it. Christmas is here, and I'm super duper excited about it.
Blair, it's November 3rd.
Yeah, exactly. As of this recording, it's November 3rd. But I will say, I work near Herald Square.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween day, I was heading home, and I walked past Macy's, and I looked up, and it was decked out in Christmas. And I was like, you know what? Now, normally I would have been a naysayer, but this particular day, I was like, this feels correct. This feels correct. And I just wanted to say that I'd like to present a hot take to the audience and to you, Sterling. I can see you quaking, and it has something to do with Christmas.
Okay.
And it is this. And if I get in trouble for this, I'm willing to die on this hill.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm coming in hot for the holidays. So people say that Mariah Carey is the queen of Christmas.
Sure.
I would like to rebut that, if I'm using that word correctly, and say that one Miss Kelly Clarkson is the definitive queen of Christmas. Thank you very much. No questions.
Okay.
You are blown away. It's such a hot take. You can't even handle it. But you know what? It is factual. I will go into information to back this up. She has a butt ton of Christmas albums. All the songs slap. And that's it. And I like her. I love Mariah, but I love
Kelly.
So
you went on the Kelly Clarkson show just the other week as an audience member.
Correct.
What song did she sing?
What song? Oh, she sang Break Even by The Script. When a heart breaks, no, it don't break
Even.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, she can eat any song up. She's so good.
Wait, that really reminds me of okay, well, I love that, and I agree. I don't know if I have a hot take of Christmas, and I don't know.
Wait a minute, can I relish in this moment that you agree with me on this?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'll be honest. I don't know any of her Christmas songs. I'm going to say because it's about 95 degrees, I'm not really in the Christmas spirit yet on November 3rd. I'm still kind of in the post-Halloween sugar rush.
This is why you have to move.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, but I want to circle back to something.
Okay.
The Script.
Okay.
When I was in high school, I was a huge Unfortunate Script fan.
I don't think that's anything to be unfortunate about. The Script is great.
That's humiliating.
No!
That's embarrassing. No,
No.
it's embarrassing. I loved The Script. I even went to the Script concert in like 10th or 11th grade. Okay. I was a big fan. And back in the day, I had a Twitter, and I still call it. I'm always going to call it Twitter. I'm not calling it that new name. That's
X?
gross to me. I'm not doing that. Sorry, Elon. Okay. I know you're a big fan of our podcast, but I'm not doing that.
That's the hill you're dying on.
Okay. So I feel like I talked about this. Maybe, oh gosh, I hope I haven't already said this story, but whatever. I love to subtweet. And if you don't know what that is,
and to translate for modern audiences, that's sub X.
Sub X. That was basically like, again, it would just be me like saying little things on Twitter, like because I had a lot of emotions as like a 16, 15-year-old.
Sure.
Okay. I once tweeted when I was feeling, when I was a little upset about somebody that I was interested in. Okay. Again, this is as a teenager.
Yeah.
I once tweeted,
okay,
when the heart breaks, it don't break even, which is the famous Break Even Script
yes,
song.
That is correct.
And the person that I was upset about tweeted back at me.
Oh, God.
Same laughing emoji.
That is
he
literally
my own subtweet.
Mortifying.
And still to this day, I'm like, I can't delete my Twitter because that's the funniest shit I've ever heard of in my life.
It is
I was like,
now, but at the time, even now,
at the time, honestly, at the time, I was like, that's so funny. And I will say, shout out to this guy. I would really be really scared if he listens to the podcast, and I sure hope he doesn't, because just the other week, my friends and I were on like we did like a bachelorette day for my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day, we decided to prank call people we had gone to high school with. Okay. Because like we had done this like bingo thing of like stuff we want to do on our bachelorette. One was prank call exes. Okay. And so they were like, Sterling, we'll get this guy, whatever, you like literally kissed once in high school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend left him a message because no one's really picking up a no caller ID call anymore.
Mm-hmm.
My friend left him a message that had so many specific details about him in his current life. We haven't talked in upwards of 10 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had a few drinks. Okay. I am still quaking in my boots that he knows that message is from us. I'm praying he doesn't. And my only reason I think he might know that it was from us is really
because you said your name at the end.
Yeah. No, and also I did not. Let me say this. I did not leave that message. If you're maybe our number one fan, that was not me. That was not me that left that message.
Sure.
I didn't even give the phone number. My friends just did it all themselves. I was basically in the bathroom being like, please don't do this. But he randomly liked a TikTok video of mine, like a couple days after that we had done that. A TikTok video of mine from August of us promoting our live show, Blair. That video has maybe 30 likes on it. What a weird video to randomly like on my page.
I think.
And I was like, is this him saying like, I know you guys prank called me as 29-year-olds?
I think what it's saying is he still harbors feelings for you, and he's proud of you doing the work. Because if you think about it, full circle moment, the break even moment is the thing that brought you to me.
Wait.
No, that connection doesn't work. Well, I was trying to connect the break even moment with this moment in time, but it didn't work. That's why I didn't get into advanced studies at UCB. It took too much work for me to A to Z. So,
anyways, that is something that really is so embarrassing that happened. Glad I could get that off my chest. And you guys, we are so excited to have our guest on today.
Yes.
He is absolutely hilarious. You can see him in shows in New York and LA. Please welcome the hilarious comedian, Brian Bahe. Brian, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
I was stalking your website, and I saw that you have a show called Starfuckers, astrology, but make it comedy. Okay, so we have a two-part question. My question is, what stars have you fucked? And then Sterling, what's your question?
Wow, right off the top. My question is really, I feel like I came to LA and I was kind of regular, and now I'm like, I have 15 crystals and I've been to 2 tarot card readers since moving here. And I want to see if you kind of, unfortunately had that happen to you since moving. So Blair's question is way shorter, I guess.
Or if it's easier, you can name what movies or TV shows they've been in or stand-up. Yeah.
I actually can't name names.
Oh,
unfortunately.
Wow. But you have names. You have names you could have named? That's huge.
Maybe.
Whoa.
Can we get like a hint?
I had to sign an NDA. I'm just kidding. I do live kind of allegedly like a block and a half away from Jeremy Renner's house. This is what people in my neighborhood tell me.
Wait, are you dropping a hint without like trying to be like?
Jeremy
Renner.
Jeremy
Renner.
I think he has a band. Is that what lured you?
Does he?
I think he does.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Okay.
He's like, and I'm moving. Okay.
But yeah, I guess what's kind of been your journey to coming to LA? Do you feel like you are who you were in New York, or do you feel like LA's changed you?
I don't know if it's changed. I feel like I understand where you're coming from in terms of like crystals and everything, because like I've never purchased any, but like people give them to me. Like there's like stones and shit that like there was a comedy show I did and they gave us like a stone as like
payment.
Yeah. And I was like, I'll take it. I don't understand like what it does exactly, but sure.
What did they say when they gave you the gift?
They just gave me an envelope
with the stone inside.
There was like a little cash in there. And then I didn't like look at it because it seems like rude to like immediately like open it or whatever. And so I opened it when I got home and then I was like, oh, it's like a stone.
Did you keep it?
Yeah. It's tiny. It's like they gave a little description of like what it's supposed to do, and I like skimmed it and then just like,
Do you feel like it's done what it's supposed to do?
I don't remember what it's supposed to do.
So you didn't dig deep. Are you into astrology, or was that just for the title of the show?
I'm a little of both. I'm like new to astrology. I feel like I'm too lazy to like learn what it actually is, but I do believe in it. I feel like it feels like seasons are like scientific, It's like we have like the weather changes, and it's like, why doesn't that apply to like space?
Can you, by just briefly meeting us, can you tell what our signs are?
I want to say you're both fire signs. Is that right?
I am.
You're a fire?
Yeah.
You're probably like an Aries. You're an Aries.
Oh, amazing. I'm not.
A Leo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I was gonna say that. And you're not a fire sign.
I'm not a fire sign.
You're a water.
Earth.
Taurus.
Nope.
Okay.
Virgo.
No.
I don't know what the third one is. Capricorn?
Capricorn.
Yeah.
You got it. You did it.
I know, but I feel like a Capricorn, that's like a hard one. I feel like there's some signs that are hard to visually see quick in a person, right?
Capricorn is the one that I don't understand anything about it. It's like when people say
I don't
Capricorn,
understand
I'm
myself.
like, oh, they turn into like just like a gray. They lose like all three dimensionality or whatever, and they turn into like just like a flat gray surface to me. And I'm like, oh, that's what a Capricorn is.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if I could guess. I'm like even trying to think if I could guess for you, Brian, and I'm like,
I'm going to say water sign. I'm just going based upon what you already said.
Well,
It's
you're
tricky.
kind of close.
Do you have any clues for us? Could you like say one little thing that maybe could give us a little clue?
Beyonce.
Virgo.
Yes. But if I was like, no.
Wait, so what made you do the move to LA a year ago?
I got a writing job here in LA, and they infamously gave me the 8 days notice. So I had to like.
Is that like a thing?
No, but I feel like it is
like
very
quick.
like. I feel like it is very like, hey, you have this start date. Can you get here by a certain date? And it's kind of like you have no choice but to be like, yeah.
Wow, how did you pack up and find a new place and leave your old place so quick?
Murder.
Yeah,
I just murdered my landlord, so I didn't have to worry about, packing. And then I murdered somebody here in LA.
See, I love the efficiency. That's a Virgo.
That's a Virgo. And that's why I haven't been caught, is because I'm a Virgo and I have an attention to detail.
Yeah.
And so I cover my tracks. There's some stat that's like that lists like all the serial killers and like what their signs are. And it's like the top isn't Virgo. It's like something else. And I'm like, it actually is Virgo, but we're so good. We just like aren't caught. you know?
That would make sense.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm kind of trying to ride so hard for Virgo serial killers, but
What was your method of murder? Or do you not want to divulge your secrets?
No, I can tell.
Okay.
I can tell. It's going to come out. I'm going to write a memoir about it, I'm sure, at some point. But
I love that you'll talk about this, but not having sex with Jeremy Renner. You won't talk about it.
Feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now only at BJ's.
Getting caught in the wrong shoes can interrupt your plans for the day, like when that 10% chance of rain ends up looking more like 100%. When the transition to fall and winter feels more like experiencing every season on the same day, there's the Allbirds Mizzle Collection. These shoes were made for misty morning walks, surprise snow days, and anything a trip to the dog park might bring. The whole collection brings together water-repellent technology and classic style, so you can stay warm, dry, and comfy during your everyday adventures. Cross off errands with the splash protection on the Wool Runner Mizzle. Dash through cold and wet weather with all-condition traction and reflective details on the Wool Dasher Mizzle. Or upgrade to next-level protection with the Mudguard on the Wool Runner-Up Mizzle Plus. Go to allbirds.com and use code FRESHSOCKS for a free pair of socks with your purchase. ALLBIRDS.com, code FRESHSOCKS.
All right, Brian, we have a game that we play on this podcast called Heaven or Hell. And this is going to be a game where you're going to decide if these various circumstances are heaven, hell, or if you're kind of indifferent, purgatory.
Okay.
You have a very hilarious bit of stand-up that is about hooking up with somebody and seeing different things come up on their Apple Watch because they're wearing an Apple Watch. Mm-hmm. And so today we have on that theme.
In preparation. I'm wearing mine.
Blair's doing method acting. No.
Yeah.
In that theme, we have different things that you could see pop up on an Apple Watch while you're on a date with somebody. And if these things you see on their Apple Watch are heaven, hell, or purgatory for you. Okay, Blair, do you want to kick us off?
You see, the Spotify song they listen to while walking to a date is Camera Roll by Casey Musgraves.
Now, do you know this song? Blair didn't know this one, so I can do a different song if you don't know it.
I actually don't know this song.
Well, Sterling, Why don't you sing a couple bars? 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, I'm trying to think of an equivalent song. Okay, I was also going to maybe do Supercut by Lorde.
I know that song.
But not super well.
I can't think of like what it sounds like. But anything by Lorde, I'm a big...
Basically, the song that I'm trying to kind of like, the theme I'm going for is basically really devastating breakup songs. Like songs that are very clearly about them listening to how sad they are about their ex.
I got one.
Okay.
Do you know Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License? She was real sad in that song.
But that would be like, that's kind of like weird in many ways. Because if they're relating to their ex, like a like, I don't know. Would that be heaven or purgatory? Even though we did give you many song choices.
I feel like it's heaven. I honestly think across the board, no matter what.
Is there a ride there?
That's the correct answer sound.
Yeah, that was.
You got it right.
Okay, sorry. Across the board,
musical tastes are just like fascinating to me. I like even if somebody has musical taste that's just so different or like whatever. I'm just like, I feel like that reveals a lot about them in like never a bad way, but like an interesting way to me.
All right, so that one was heaven for you. Okay, number 2. Seeing a text on their Apple Watch from their mom that says, "Have a fun night, poopsie!" !
That is hell. I think that something about it's so crazy. I'm fascinated. Like this is obviously something I should be in therapy about, but like I feel like it's so just like when people are like friends with their parents or whatever, they have like that friend relationship. That's like, I never understood that. And it's just like weird to me. I don't know if that text is like friend vibes, but maybe they're just like actually just like, you know, open with their parents or whatever.
Does your parent have a nickname for you?
No.
Okay, I will say, Sterling, I don't know if you know this, but when I was like a little kid, my dad used to call me Poopsie.
Well, you call Blair calls a lot of people poopsie, so that's actually why he calls my dog that.
No, yeah. I call him Poopy.
Oh,
you know, like little Poopy.
Yeah, I don't know about that for nicknames, but
it's completely normal.
I definitely have nicknames my parents give me, but I think for this one, it's basically revealing that one, their mom knows they're going on a first date, and then 2, they have that nickname from their parent, which then if like maybe things progress, you'll be around them and that's the name that they're called around their family.
You may have to adopt it.
That's a hoe.
And in a passionate setting, you may have to call them Poopsie. Now, is that something you're comfortable potentially doing? That's a thing you have to think about. Like, kiss me, Poopsie.
Yeah.
You know?
They're like, yeah, we're like being intimate.
Yeah.
And they're like, call me Poopsie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I will, but then I also will never want to see you again.
Okay, next one. Seeing a recent note in their notes app titled "Questions to Ask on a Date."
That's interesting. I feel like I would go heaven on this only because I am fascinated. The only reason I use the notes app on my phone is because like to write like ideas or like that's where I like write jokes and stuff. And so that's the only reason I think that app exists. So like when people aren't like comedians or writers, I'm like, why are they using like the note? Or not like why, but I'm just like, I'm fascinated that you would dare open the notes app and write stuff in it. And so that's kind of interesting to me.
Have you ever written something in the notes app that is not joke related? that you've gone back and you're like, where did this come from?
I write passwords in there now.
I feel like a notes app is a scary place because I also like I'll write some jokes in there too if I have any ideas, but also I feel like it's also like it's kind of the Wild West, right? It's like some passwords. I have my favorite coffee shop's bathroom code, shout out. And then it's like
that's
text.
That's
it's like text drafts that are a little scary that I want to send or was thinking about sending.
So I just opened mine just to see what's in mine. So I have, so here it is. I put Ocean Spray on 50, Philly 45. I have no fucking clue what that means.
You know what? Ocean Spray on sale? Do you drink Ocean Spray?
I don't. But I have it in my phone in Philly 45. I'm not a sports fan, but I do know that is a team and also a location and also an age and also a number. So,
oh, you have no clue what that means. That's a fun mystery you can kind of unpack. Okay, Blair, we have 2 more.
A notification that says Carly has invited you to join the shared photo album titled Fish Head Gang. And that's fish with a PH.
I'm going to say heaven for me.
Okay, so what's your favorite fish song? Favorite fish song?
That's heaven for me only because I love like delving into like a subculture, you know?
Okay.
I've never been to a fish concert. I would love to go with somebody, a date who's like taking me through and just being like, yeah, we're at a fish concert, but like we're also gay. So I know how to like navigate this space and like make it fun. I think that would be really fun.
I'm curious how much fish tickets go for.
I think they were just playing at the Hollywood Bowl this year. I went on a few dates with kind of a deadhead / fish guy. I don't know. I kind of feel like they're kind of maybe overlapping crews. And it wasn't for me. They're very into jamming.
Right.
And I don't know if that's a culture for me. They're really just sitting around jamming all the time.
I would go to like one, but I would be like, hey, I want the full experience. Give me like a drug of some sort. And like...
You might want to also ask for a coupon code because if you're feeling like going crazy on New Year's, they do have a show coming up in New York and tickets are $333 each, but you have to buy them in sets of 4.
That sounds like a really fun way to ring in 2024.
They got multiple shows too, so it's going to be like a whole experience. Yeah. So think about it.
We can all go. We need to find a 4th.
I don't want to go. I'd rather live vicariously through your Instagram stories and not pay that.
Okay.
Unless it's a free ticket.
Okay, your last one today, Brian. A notification from the S&P 500 that their stock in Charmaine's Charmaine? Oh no. What is that toilet paper? Charmaine's toilet paper? Charmin's? Oh no. I've been watching this TV show that's so terrible, but one of the main characters is named Charmaine. Mm-hmm. It's gotten to my head. Okay, Charmin's toilet paper has dropped by 3%. So you know they're investing, but they are investing in toilet paper. I don't know.
Or they could be investing in the off-brand version.
Yeah,
Charmaine.
They could be investing in an off-brand Charmaine's.
This is like purgatory for a few reasons. I feel like I'm fascinated by people who like play the stock market or whatever, because I'm just like, it's such like a crazy, like, it is a hobby essentially. And I'm just like, of all the hobbies you could have, why that? I guess that means like they love money, which is kind of LOL.
Yeah. Or they love to lose money.
Or they love to lose money. I think, but it is kind of funny that they invested in toilet paper. Like that's something that's like, you know, there is like a wink in, how does that expression go?
Oh, glaucoma. They have glaucoma in there.
Yeah, they have glaucoma. And yeah, that's why they have
cataracts. It's cataracts, not glaucoma. I'm so sorry.
God.
And then, but like to have updates on that's really sad. I hooked up with like somebody in New York and like post hookup, he like was on his phone just like scrolling and I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, just checking my stocks. And then he showed me like his little app or whatever. And I was just like, something about that was just like so like, once again, it goes into like this whole, I love like seeing people like that live like a completely different life than I do.
To me, the toilet paper was almost, I feel like there was that fad, like again, really early in the pandemic where it was like, buy toilet paper stock or whatever. So this person to me is like maybe someone who got that like March 2020 has been really.
I'm actually gonna go heaven on this.
Okay.
I would like literally, I think I'm like picturing this guy now, and I'm like, I kind of am like really into him, and he actually probably doesn't even like me. And I'm like,
Oh.
and I'm like, hold on. I'm like texting him like 8 times a day, no response. I love a deeply flawed individual. I think it's kind of like,
Yeah.
Is that on your dating profile? That's the headline.
Yeah.
Seeking deeply flawed individual.
Ah, feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now, only at BJ's.
Attention car shoppers. Right now at South Carolina Federal Credit Union, you can get a new or used auto loan and pay nothing until 2024. And no payments for 90 days means nothing out of pocket going into the new year. Plus, we have flexible rates and terms, so you could make the best financial choice for you. Learn more at scfederal.org/auto loans. That's scfederal.org/auto loans. Certain restrictions apply. Existing South Carolina Federal credit loans are excluded.
You've done something that you've been thinking about. Was it in the right? Was it in the wrong? And Blair and I are going to help you figure that out today and decide if you exhibited good or bad behavior. So whenever you're ready, take it away.
When I lived in New York, I was living in Park Slope, and I hooked up with this guy a couple of times who I met on Grindr, and then so I met up with him a third time, and he like came over to my place. Yeah, none of my roommates were home. He was like married to a woman, had 2 kids, worked in finance. And, you know, so this probably sheds light on this podcast. Like everything I've said in this podcast so
Yep.
far.
Yep.
And then like and then as we were kind of like slowly like not like getting undressed or whatever, I hear this like thud on the hardwood floor, and I look over to see like what it was, and it was just like a huge like knife, like like a knife that you like see in like that you would get at like a Bass Pro Shop or something. It was just like very big, and I'm just like looking at it, and then he's looking at it, and I'm like, what is that? And then he's just like, well, you know, you can never be too safe. But here's the thing, we both lived in Park Slope, like the safest neighborhood like ever. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I probably should have been like, hey, you gotta go. But then like, I was like, but like what? I was still just like kind of like attracted to him, like knife aside. So I was like, okay, let me just like see, maybe just like this one last time, and then I'll end it or whatever. And so, so I kind of like did that, and then, the entire time I was kind of just like, my pupils had like never been more dilated. Yeah. You know, I was just like looking at him, looking at the knife, like making sure that like,
even during coitus.
Even during coitus, especially during coitus.
When the knife fell, did he pick it back up? You both just left it on the ground.
I don't know how it must have been like in his pocket or something, because he picked
it
back up and then
knife.
put it back like in a pocket or whatever. And so I was just like, interesting. And also like nobody, like, yeah, my roommates weren't home. Yeah, no, I didn't tell anybody he was coming. It would have been the perfect crime in a way. He was giving Virgo energy.
Yeah, you're like he actually had some amazing ideas.
Also, this is also his like big hobby. He would like text me now and then. He's like, yeah, I'm like, his hobby was scuba diving. Like he would scuba dive like in like off like Long Island, and like even in like the East River. And he would like send me pictures of stuff that he found. And I'm like, he has murdered. He has murdered. Yeah. He knows how to get rid of a body. He knows where to put it, where it can't be found.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just kind of ended. And then he texted me after. He's like, have a good day. And I'm just like, thanks. And then...
this is during the day?
This is during the day, yeah. It was giving work from home.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay, but I'm interested. He's kind of even scared walking around Park Slope during the day with me. Okay, this is just details. Okay, keep going.
And then I feel like, the reason I feel like weird about this is mostly because like I'm like are the kids, I would feel weird about texting him because like we had each other's number. And I'm always like, in my head, I was just like, what if one of the kids sees me texting him? And then I'm just like flashing forward to like the kids are going to like get revenge on me. They're like, oh my God, you broke up our parents.
So they were not in an open relationship. This was strictly on the DL.
I don't think so. I don't think so. One time we did, this is sad. Okay. One time we did, like we went on like a date, like to a restaurant. And then he's like, we like sat down and he's like, yeah, order whatever. And so I just like ordered something and then he didn't order. I'm like, wait, are you not getting anything? And he's like, no, I have to go home to eat dinner after this with my family. And so
how did you feel when he said that?
I was like, I felt weird. I was like, okay, this is like weird.
He just watched you eat?
Yeah, what'd you get to eat?
Like a lot of stuff. Like a lot. Just kidding, no. I think I got like falafel.
Any drinks or?
I think we both just had water.
Wow.
Okay, hold on.
And did he pay?
He did pay.
Okay, thank God.
What time of day was this date? Because if he had to go home and eat dinner, was this like an early?
It was evening.
Okay, it was evening.
It was evening.
Okay, so to me, actually, this is a two-parter moral conundrum. We could either go the route of, is it bad that I maybe hooked up with a guy that was married and that his kids could have found out and I could have ruined a marriage, right? Maybe. Or I think the more interesting moral conundrum is this. Mm-hmm. Is it bad that I hooked up with a man who carried around a knife, who could have been a serial killer, and I didn't investigate?
Oh, I should have investigated.
Yeah.
Because with his hobbies in the East River, this could be a killer on the loose in New York.
That would be crazy.
So what moral conundrum route do you want to go? Or do you have a third moral conundrum you actually want the story to lie in more?
That's a great question. I feel like morally I like the serial killer route just because.
Because it takes it off of you.
You never know.
Yes, exactly.
An open
That's why you like that one. It takes the heat off of you.
I mean, it does tie back into just, what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, where you murdered your landlord.
Right.
Do you know his astrological sign?
I bet. I'm sure I did at some point.
What made his Grindr profile stand out to you? Because I'm assuming it was headless.
It was headless.
Walk me through the profile. What stood out to you?
It was like a very blank profile. And then most of the info was given over like the messages in between. So that's where I saw like the photos. That's where I saw
the PP.
I had the PP. I want to say he was giving ex-military if the details are coming back to me.
Wow. Okay, well then maybe that makes more sense than the knife.
Okay, maybe. We'll see.
You're on his side. I wonder if he was in the Navy.
That would kind of make sense with scuba diving, though.
Now, how did the wife and kids come into the conversation? How was that introduced?
It was weird because he would like give that information up very freely. Like he would be like, no, I probably did ask about it. I'm like, why are you like, what's the deal, etc. Like why? Okay. And then
So he was giving that information up freely or not?
I think he would like.
You don't have to give any details.
I feel like I would ask like a question that would like. I probably already knew the answer to, like, oh wait, he was wearing like a ring, I think, and so I would just be like, oh, are you married? And he's like, yeah, I have a wife. And then he's like, and then he was like, oh, I got to get home. My kids are gonna like, they're gonna be home too or something. Yeah, exactly.
So when he brought up the kids, I can only assume being in that position, that would have been like, whoa, like you said, I could break up a marriage. Were you prepared to take on the stepmother role should that opportunity present itself? Because it sounds like,
even.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I thought about this a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, cool. If I have to break up a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll try my best to be like a good stepmom. But
Sure.
if the kids come at me with any kind of like, confrontation or anything, then I have no choice but to, be a panther and kind of just like give them that energy back.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But
Okay.
I'm open to just being like the best thing that ever happened to them.
Okay.
Wow. Because, we have no idea what the mom's like.
Yeah.
She could be
Yeah.
really annoying. She could be
What if the kids are
annoying.
very LGBTQIA plus friendly?
And the wife, she could be kind of homophobic.
Supportive. Oh.
And that's why he's running away.
Damn. Is that how that works?
I don't know.
My question is, okay, I have a bunch. So you're kind of going more that route. Interesting. I'm going to go more killer. Okay.
Oh, I have no idea where I'm going.
Okay. Well, one, do you think that he's hooked up? Do you think you were the first infidel in his marriage? Or you think
I don't think so. I think
he knew the ropes.
he knew, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then, so this was third date that the knife appeared.
Third, yes. Third, yeah.
Third
Encounter.
encounter. Okay. And first two encounters, no weapons appeared.
As far as I know.
Okay.
Did you see any signs in the first couple of dates that could give off the vibe of killer?
I guess no. And that probably speaks to why he's so, kind of accomplished as a potential killer in a way.
Here's something else to factor in. We're instantly going killer, but I don't know if you're familiar with television, because I watch a lot of it.
No, I don't think we're familiar.
Okay, it's a box that comes in people's houses that has entertainment on it. So there's a program that I used to watch with my mother, may she rest in peace, called Magnum P.I. And he used to work in the Navy, and then he fought crime. So, who's to say he's not trying to save America from crime? And maybe his wife is a bad guy that he only got married to and did this long con to take her down. She's trying to take down the government or whatever. And he's like, no, you can't do that. I'm a PI.
Oh,
Right.
But
like
even
Mr.
PIs have
Mrs.
got to get a
Smith
little
vibes.
sex times,
That's true. But then he's wearing a lot of hats because he also had a full-time job.
Well, you got to throw people off the scent, especially if you're going under PI.
And I guess when you guys ended things, you broke up. Did he take it well, or like how was he in that?
I think it just kind of fizzled out.
It fizzled.
It fizzled out.
And did you see him again after the knife encounter?
I don't remember, if I'm being honest. This was a while ago. I think there was he would text me like you text somebody, that you're kind of like friendly with. And I'm like, we're not like that close. Like the photos of like stuff he found from scuba diving, like that was, I'm pretty sure that was like well after we had like stopped seeing each other.
What did he find?
I don't, it just he would find stuff that like he said what it was, but I'm like, okay, it's giving like rust though. Like it was just like a thing that looks rusty.
I feel like we're going down so many routes. We're going to have to really decide what our moral conundrum is for to see which way we decide. Because I don't know, Brian, I don't know what your bad behavior in this situation was, whether it was that you should have investigated if he was a killer.
I think my bad behavior was to just keep this going. Like, I feel like my bad behavior was like, maybe I should have just not gotten involved with a guy who was
You're like a guy, period. We're like, it's okay if you do that.
Yeah, the moral conundrum is like
man
being gay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
From everything I've heard from the story, I am hearing a man who was in a troubled relationship because he was fighting crime. Just like all crime fighters, they need love. They want love. They want something that's substantial, something to come home to that they can say, hey, yeah, that's it. And he saw that in you. And even as you're, regaling us of your time together, you're even kind of fuzzy on the details, because you didn't invest in him. And all he wanted was you to invest in him. I mean, the knife, that was a perfect opportunity to dig a little deeper and maybe get to know the man you could have married, And then he even followed up after it kind of fizzled out because he wanted to reconnect. He needed you. He was hooked on you. And you're like, nope. I got my crystal and I'm going to LA. And I'm going to say bad behavior because you broke this man's heart, and he is a father who is just trying to do right by America.
Wow. What is that? Okay. That's interesting. Interesting. I think, okay, I'm gonna have to kind of think my way through this one, I'll be honest.
Think out loud.
I'm gonna think out loud, unfortunately. Okay, we started this podcast talking about astrology. And I think all we can ask of ourselves is knowing ourselves. And it seems like, Brian, you know yourself. You, even in our game, said, what I love is finding out details about people. People that are interesting, that have different clues about them. I love that. And this is a person right up your alley. Boy, did he have a lot of interesting details. He loves to scuba dive in the East River.
Yeah.
He's a dad, and he loves knives. And he's a little scared, even during the day in Park Slope. And that's an unusual person, and that's cool. And so this guy I think it was kind of fated that you would maybe be interested in him because he is a little peculiar, even though some of these things could be a little scary, but peculiar ultimately. And again, he didn't murder that we know of. So I think, so I'm like, did you do anything wrong? Here's the thing. You said that there's nothing really in his profile that really gave you any information. So I don't know how off the bat you'd be like, I shouldn't go out with this person or see this person, because it seems like you didn't even know many details. And it seems like you cut it off after just a few encounters. You didn't, you're not still on and off for years. And it also seems like you felt comfortable, obviously, taking on a step-parent role if it came to that. And that is all you can really kind of do, if you're going to enter into this kind of situation, is be ready to take on 2 kids. Yeah. So for that, I also am saying good behavior. Wait, did you say good behavior or bad?
I said bad.
Oh, no.
I said bad behavior.
I'm sorry. It's getting to be about 99 degrees in my room, so my brain is...
She had a heat stroke real quick.
I'm having a heat stroke. Did I kind of circle around? Did that make any sense?
That made a lot of sense.
That made a lot of sense.
Because I pictured this man being really close to his kids, and he probably told him a lot about you.
Really?
I think so.
Should I reach out?
I think you should. He was a book you didn't read.
It's just so great.
You should reach out.
You should reach out. So, okay. So it seems
it's
like
cuffing season.
It's cuffing season. We've come to an impasse. Our vote is split, Brian. So we like to ask our guests that when we come to kind of, when Blair and I are split in our vote, to have 30 seconds for a final plea to make their case, whether you think you were good behavior or bad behavior, to see if you can sway one of us. So we'll put 30 seconds on the timer for one final...
The timer begins.
Argument. Okay.
Now.
Okay. So I just want to say that all humans are flawed individuals. And I think that's something that we should celebrate and actually explore in a way. I think that society, there's this weird thing of we all need to be perfect, whatever, we should be striving for excellence, and it's just that's kind of boring.
Okay, your time is up.
Oh, no, that was an amazing argument though. So
thanks. I really wasn't sure if it was an argument, but I was let me speak from the soul,
and that's all we can ask for. So it seems like you were going for good on that because all humans are flawed, or which way were you?
Yeah.
or we'll decide for ourselves.
I actually am leaving that up for you guys to decide.
That's so true. That's our responsibility. Blair?
I mean, I'm leaning bad only because, again, people are flawed, and this was a flawed man, and you didn't pick at those flaws and learn about them. You didn't explore them because like you said, flaws are meant to be embraced. And what did you do? You waved goodbye. You said, "Nuh-uh, not on my time."
Yeah, but he might have saved himself from getting murdered.
That is true.
I did say, like, take me scuba diving. I will say that.
And he didn't?
I think he was like, yeah, but, like, you know, it would never actually happen.
Never followed up. So,
Yeah.
it sounds like where maybe Brian was kind of offering an olive branch for exploring.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. This is, late game
With this
information. With this new information.
This game-changing information in the final hour, the final minute of the game.
So it sounds like you did pour your heart out to him and he spat on it like a corrupt PI guy. I'm saying good behavior.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
you've changed players. So
You
Brian,
did it.
You have been officially deemed good behavior. And we have a reward for you today. And that is a little acceptance speech for you to read aloud to our audience. Obviously, it can be a little nerve-wracking to come up with those on the spot, so we've written one for you today.
Wow. This is awesome. Truly. I have a gratitude bullet journal that I write in every single day. And this morning I woke up, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I was struggling to think of something I'm grateful for. It's November, so I've written a lot of bullets. So now I can write how grateful I am that 2 podcast hosts told me I am good. And that is a huge win.
Wow.
Oh my God, thank you.
That's
you.
beautiful. Okay, well, Brian, this has been so fun today. Before we wrap up, can you tell listeners where they can follow you, find you, any upcoming shows to plug?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, at Brian, with an I, _Bahe, Bahe. I have a show in LA called Starfuckers. Come to that.
And that's our show. Thanks so much for listening today.
We absolutely hate to do this. We hate it.
But it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, rate and review.
Follow us at Bad Behavior NYC on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for listening.
And remember, whatever your moral status, we are always here to judge.
Bye.
Do you think that was good?
Ah, feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now, only at BJ's.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead.
With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone.
So what if I need a new one?
No problem. We have the right battery for your car, starting at only $89.99.
Get in zone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.